Ferrari's season has been a massive disappointment so far, and the Italian team needs to start finding answers. After 2.5 years under Fred Vasseur's leadership, Ferrari looked no closer to claiming a first team title since 2008, but their shortcomings this season have been particularly painful considering the arrival of Lewis Hamilton and how strongly they finished last season. Patience is running short in Italy, and with new regulations coming soon, it's now or never for Ferrari to make a decision on their future, and there is reason to believe that that future might be without Fred Vasseur and Charles Leclerc. Today, I'll check out the rumblings of discontent coming out of the Scudderia, so don't go anywhere. To understand the level of disappointment in Maranello right now, you need the context of last season. Ferrari hasn't tasted silverware since 2008 when they won the Constructors' Championship. The last driver's title was the year before when Kimi Raikkonen won his one and only title. When Perez started to not score last season and Verstappen stopped dominating, Ferrari saw an opportunity. They chased McLaren all the way to the last weekend of the season, but eventually fell short of a Constructors' title. Nonetheless, 11 podiums in the final 10 races in an incredibly competitive field was a fantastic return. In fact, it was the best of any team on the grid in that last 10 races of last season. Then, with Lewis Hamilton replacing Carlos Sainz, expectations were pretty high. The Ferrari management will have been expecting a championship battle all season and hoping that it would have ended in silverware. Going into the 10th race of this season though, those hopes and expectations have been shattered, and not in a good way. Ferrari are second in the Constructors' Championship, but have less than half the points of championship leaders McLaren. Charles Leclerc's 3 podiums aren't even a consolation prize, and Hamilton has done nothing to change the team's fortunes. All hopes for this season are finished, which means Ferrari have to start looking at the new regulations in 2026, and that doesn't just mean the technical departments focusing on the new car. Decisions need to be made at the board level. The aim for next season is clearly to enter the new regulations as the dominant team in the sport. To do that, Ferrari will first of all have to rely on a team made up of key figures capable of creating a winning single-seater. When Fred Vasseur joined the team in December of 2022, his remit was clear. Ferrari needed gutting. A reorganization of every department was needed to try and break them out of the malaise that had taken a death grip over the team for the past decade. The big-ticket exits included sporting director Laurent Mekies in July 2023 and technical director Enrico Cardile in July 2024. The replacement technical director, Loic Serra, has overseen the design and production of a car which, contrary to the expectation of many fans, has proven to be far worse than last year's. Another appointment failure that the Ferrari board may hold against Fred Vasseur is the failure to hire Adrian Newey. Ferrari insiders among the Italian media are starting to talk about the impact of this disappointing car and the lack of improvement in results on Fred Vasseur's position. They talk about how the run of bad results at the start of this year, combined with the difficulties of Hamilton's arrival at Ferrari, the embarrassing team radio communications that happen at every race, and the shameful double disqualification in China, is making Fred Vasseur's future at the team uncertain. On the other hand, his continued guidance of the team into the new regulations is going to be vital to the stability of the team and the development of the new car. However, if the results continue as they've started this season, Ferrari may be forced to find someone else to lead them into those new regulations. The next 3 Grand Prix will be decisive for the next season and for the future of Fred, whose current contract with Maranello will expire at the end of this year. Do they stick and trust the process that Fred has begun? Or do they twist and hope that someone else can turn around the team just 6 months before the biggest regulation changes in over a decade? If they are to make the call, the sooner they do it the better. A new boss will want as much time as possible to make an impact on the team, and if Ferrari decide to do it when the season is over, the decision will definitely have been made far too late to have any impact on the first season of the new regulations. Antonello Coletta, head of endurance, who's involved in the 24 Hours of Le Mans this weekend in a world championship that began with 3 wins out of 3, is favourite to replace Vasseur. In the past, the Roman manager has been asked to lead the F1 team, but he had politely declined and reiterated this recently, aware of the enormous difference between the two worlds of competition. Now that he's won everything in the WEC though, Ferrari may be more eager to encourage him to switch codes. His name, along with Christian Horner, who is a long-standing favourite of John Elkann, is at the top of the list if Vasseur and Ferrari were to go through with a separation. One man who has persisted through team principal changes and is all too familiar with the failures of Ferrari is Charles Leclerc. No one doubts that the Monegasque is a fantastic driver. His one-lap pace in particular is outstanding, and he's proven time and again that he can back it up in a race. Now in his 7th season with the team, it isn't about whether Ferrari have faith in Leclerc as their future, it's about whether Leclerc trusts Ferrari to provide a car that he can secure his legacy in. But before I talk about that, if you're enjoying the video and want to catch all the analysis from this weekend's Canadian Grand Prix, then make sure to give this video a like and subscribe to F1 Reverse. Thanks a lot. For Leclerc, it's been 2 podiums in a row, and in Canada the pursuit of a 3rd begins on the track named after Gilles Villeneuve. These are the kind of results that Leclerc expects as a Ferrari driver, but in the previous 7 races he had just 1 podium, as well as that embarrassing disqualification in China. Rumours are leaking to the Italian media from Leclerc's inner circle that he's considering breaking his contract with Ferrari, which currently runs until 2029, when Charles will be 31. During his time at the team, the two have continuously sworn they'll be together forever, but his confidence no longer seems total. He's lived through nearly 7 years of cyclical crises, and it will not have escaped him that Piastri in 1 year, since McLaren returned to the top, has won almost as much as he has in 7 years. Of course, Leclerc couldn't have predicted the rise of McLaren, but sometimes you have to take a risk to win big. There are exit clauses in his contract, and now is the perfect time to consider the opportunities offered by 2026. His fear will be finding himself at a Ferrari team that is struggling with a below-standard engine and a technical team that can't improve a car. A move to Mercedes, on the other hand, is likely to offer him the advantage of the most powerful engine on the grid. They've not yet renewed Russell's contract, which ends this season. They have tried to chase Verstappen, but it's likely that Max will stay at Red Bull next year to choose who to join in 2027, unless he decides to take a break and take his pick of teams after a year out, something only he could do. Toto Wolff has always been a fan of Leclerc's as well. Then there is Aston Martin in full relaunch with Adrian Newey, and while that would be a gamble, Newey's record speaks for itself. The exit of Leclerc from Ferrari would be the biggest vote of no confidence the team could receive, and a sign that they've truly reached the lowest point yet. As if Ferrari's season hadn't been bad enough already, the excitement around Hamilton's arrival at the team is well and truly over. The 7-time world champion has struggled to adapt to the car, and his initial optimism has been replaced by the same self-deprecating negativity that filled his last couple of seasons at Mercedes. However, he still holds hope. Speaking in Montreal on Thursday before this weekend's Canadian Grand Prix, Hamilton said, "I love working with Fred. Fred's the main reason I'm in this team and got the opportunity to be here, which I'm forever grateful for. We're in this together. We're working hard in the background. Things aren't perfect, but I am here to work with the team, but also with Fred. I want Fred here. I believe he is the person to take us to the top." Ferrari chairman John Elkann pulled out all the stops to bring Hamilton to Ferrari. The deal was perfect from both the sporting side and the commercial side. The sport's most successful driver, and also the best sales piece F1 has to offer. It was a dream come true, but the reality has been far from that. Seeing Leclerc comfortably outdrive his teammate from behind him on the grid in Spain was a poignant reminder that Hamilton's arrival at Ferrari has not gone as expected. Hamilton might want Fred to remain, and if his arrival at the team had gone as expected, then his desires may have been listened to. But considering the early results, is Elkann's faith in Hamilton as strong as it was before the season began? Do Lewis's words hold as much weight with the Ferrari board as he thinks? Asked about the reports that Fred's job was at risk, Hamilton said, "I don't think that's on the cards as far as I'm aware, and it's certainly not something I would be supportive of. Embedding new people, whether it's a driver or engineers or people who run an organization, it takes time to adjust and the impact can be significant. That's not part of the discussion. I'm here to win with Fred and he has my full support." But do you agree with Hamilton? Despite the bitterly disappointing results this season, do you have faith in Fred? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and if you want to support the channel, then make sure to check out our merch store at f1reverse.com to get yourself some sweet F1 inspired gear. And until next time, drive safe and bye for now.